Hey everybody, it's Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. As you can see, the next few battle reports are going to be Halloween themed because I like Halloween, and it just occurred to me to do it. Not a whole lot of difference really. The music will be a little different, and you're gonna see a lot more orange and black. So yay! If you're scared easily, well, just kind of power through. For the most part, it's just fun. But yeah, got another 2,500 point battle for you. Lord Tremendous, that's me, of the Warriors of Chaos, versus Prince of Sensual Puke of the Warriors of Chaos. And you'll see why I named him that in a minute. Here's my list. It's the Alamo GT list. If you've seen the past 20 or so battle reports I've done, then you know what list I'm bringing. It's my Demon Prince, Lord Tremendous, with the Mark of Tzeentch. He's a level 4 wizard. He's got Chaos Armor with wings, Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, Other Trickster's Shard, Demon Blade, Soul Feeder, Scaled Skin, and Allura Metal. My hero choices are the Exalted Hero, Tardum, the Herald of Tzeentch. He's got the Mark of Tzeentch. He's my BSB. He's on a demonic mount. He's got a great weapon. He uses the Talisman of Preservation, Poisonous Slime, and Third Eye of Tzeentch. Last but not least is my Chaos Sorcerer, Ashkus the Muse. He's got the Mark of Slaanesh. He's a level 2 wizard. He's mounted on a Steed of Slaanesh, the Slickness. He's got an Enchanted Shield, the Luckstone, the Skull of Catan, the Ruby Ring of Ruin, and he uses the Lore of Slaanesh because it kills people. My core choices are Unit 24 by Chaos Warriors with Mark of Tzeentch, Full Command, Hand Weapon Shield, and the Banner of Eternal Flame. I have 5 Warhounds with poison attacks. And I've got a unit of 5 useless Marauder Horsemen. I know, a lot of people like them. I don't. They're only still in the list because I can't take them out until after the tournament. They're still the Mark of Slaanesh with the Banner Musician, Spears, Shields, and Throwing Axes. And I've still got my 2 Chariots, one Mark Tzeentch and one Mark Slaanesh. The Slaanesh one, of course, is Orcish Elegance. My special choices are 5 by Hellstriders, the Pleasure Riders, with Banner Musician, Spears, and Shields. I've got my Chimera. Trifection! With Poison and Regen, and the one, the only, the Mutalith Vortex. Gotta love the beast. My opponent's list is as follows. He had Demon Prince with the Mark of Slaanesh. He was, what did he have? He had the Luckstone, he had Soul Feeder, and he had Scaled Skin. His hero choices were Throg the Troll King, which I've never actually faced before, so I was very excited to go up against him. And by excited, I mean terrified beyond all belief, because I've never faced that many trolls before. He also had an Exalted Hero with Mark of Tzeentch, BSB. He had a Halberd and Shields. He was on a Demonic Mount. He had a Talisman of Preservation and a Potion of Foolhardiness. His core, I know you're going to be floored by this, was all Trolls. He had a unit of 17 Chaos Trolls and 3 units of 6 Chaos Trolls. None had the extra hand weapon upgrade. His special choices were a unit of 3 by Dragon Ogres with a unit champion. And his rare choice was 3 Skull Crushers, Full Command, Ensorcelled Weapons, and the Razor Standard. And yes, you did not see that wrong. He took no magic levels whatsoever. He had no magic at all in this list. Really shocked me when I heard that myself. Well, you'll see how it ended up working out for him. But yeah, no magic for my opponent whatsoever. It was a pure combat army. These are my spells, 4 from Metal, 2 from Slaanesh, 1 from Fireball, and yay, of course the Mutalist spell. Since my opponent doesn't have any spells to show you, here's one of Deployment. And as you can see, I was a little spooked. I had my 2 Chariots, my Chimera, and my Marauder Horseman up to try to get a hold of his Skull Crushers because a 1-up armor save with Strength 5, it's just too dangerous. So I figured both Chariots and my Chimera going into them might help, and I was going to use the Marauders as bait to try to get him to overrun, so it was a better choice for me, or a better charge for me anyway. There's my BSB, my Warriors, and my Beast make up the middle. The Beast was just going to try to make them, try to get a spell off. I was really kind of shocked that I wasn't going to have any real competition for, magic or anything like that, so I figured, toughness checks are toughness checks, and maybe I could dork around with their stats a little bit, have some fun that way. The warriors were just kind of lining up against the big old unit of trolls because they have the Banner of Eternal Flame. If anything's going to be able to deal with that unit, it's going to be the warriors. And the BSB, my plan with him was to try to get him into combat with either his Demon Prince or one of the big blocks of trolls and just, you know, help me kill off trolls, because I figured even if they puked, he's got a 3-up ward save. He should be okay. I've been wrong before, but I was willing to take the gamble. Meanwhile, the Hellstriders did their thing. They move up. I was going to stick them up there behind enemy lines and just start magicking things to death. And the Demon Prince was either going to work on the small unit of trolls or the Dragon Ogres, because I did not want him in the fight with Throg, because, you know, what, 9 puke attacks, that would do him in pretty quick. Here's my opponent's right flank. Those on the left there are his 3 Dragon Ogres with Unit Champion. Right next to them is a unit of 6 trolls. Here's my opponent's center. In the back, our back left there is his Demon Prince. In front of us is Throg in his unit of 17 trolls. Right next to them is a unit of 6 trolls. Behind that unit of 6 trolls is his BSB. I know it's a Minotaur with a little banner thingy. It was appropriate base sizes, and we do proxies in friendly games. Hell, into tournaments. So I don't have a problem with it. And now that I've told you, you shouldn't have a problem with it. So there. And on the far right there is one more unit of 6x trolls. Here's his left flank, and as you can see, there's his 3 skull crushers, just, you know, looking to crush skulls. Here's my right flank. There's my Chimera. Trifection! With the 5 models of my useless Marauder Horsemen, my 2 chariots, and of course my BSB getting ready to do what they need to do. My center, well, there's the BSB again on the right, followed by my unit of warriors, and of course the... Yeah, gotta love the beast. And then there's my left flank, with on the left there on the top, those unit of unpainted dogs, like just the base coated black. Those are the proxies that I'm using for my Hellstriders and Ashicus, because my wife is currently painting them. So hopefully in the next, you know, by Battle Report 46, 47, you guys will be able to see my Hellstriders all based and painted and happy. Of course, there's my Demon Prince, Lord Tremendous. And a unit of 5 painted dogs are my actual dogs. My wife got done painting them. I have, as of this post, I have based them. So by Battle Report 45, you should be able to see painted and based dogs. Yay! So here's top of 1 after movement, and as you can see, I didn't go first. His trolls swarm forward. They all pass their stupidity checks, and they fly forward. And since he has no magic and no shooting, we go into bottom of 1. Yeah, quickest turn ever, right? So yeah, my Chimera runs up to behind the house to try to get an angle, basically an ambush charge on the Skull Crushers if they charge my Marauders, who come up as bait. He needed a 9 or a 10. In order to hit my Marauders where I put them. I can't remember off the top of my head if it was a 9 or a 10. But bottom line is, on 3d6, he needed to roll pretty high, and I was willing to gamble. So I put him there. The chariots were angled so that if they do get hit by the Skull Crushers, they should be able to hit them, and if not, well, we'll see. But I figured a Chimera in their flank would have been plenty. And 1 chariot should be able to hit them if they do come in there, so I wasn't too worried. Otherwise, the 2 chariots and the BSB were sitting there. The BSB was there to catch a charge from one of the units of 6x trolls, and the other 2 chariots were just there for backup to go wherever they needed to go. My dogs were there. They were trying to redirect his trolls. I figured he'd charge my dogs. The dogs would flee, get away, and then he'd be in a terrible situation where my warriors would be able to flank charge his big unit of trolls, thereby pretty much eliminating a lot, getting rid of their ranks. At best, he'd have 9 attacks at me, and I'd have a 5-up against it. So I was feeling pretty confident there. The Demon Prince ran up to try to get his Dragon Ogres and his Trolls to charge him because I figured he could take them. And the Beast just hung out in the forest because I was going to just start doing his little beastie spell because I knew he didn't really have any magic defense. Meanwhile, the Hellstriders were able to get up past the Dragon Ogres, and we're going to start doing their brand of violence. During my magic phase, I didn't know what his Demon Prince was kitted out with, so I fired off Searing Doom at him, trying to figure it out. And I discovered that not only did he have a 1-up armor save, but he did not have a Dragonbane gem or the Dragon Helm. So yeah, he was lucky because I did 3 wounds to him, and instead of him dying. Or no, I'm sorry, I did 4 wounds to him, but he was able to ward save 2 of them. So I put 2 wounds on him right off the bat, and I was stunned. Right here, not to be outdone, Lord Tremendous hits up Final Transmutation on the trolls. The idea here was just lower their numbers. If I got lucky and zotted Throg, that's one thing. But, you know, I just figured it was a great spell to use against trolls because it allows no saves of any kind. And I got 2 of them. That's right, I rolled 17 dice, plus 1 for Throg, and I got 2 of them. So what can you do? Here's top of 2 after movement, and as you can see, the best laid plans don't ever work out, ever. I don't know why I bothered to try with plans. His unit of big trolls with Throg charged my dogs who fled. They got away, and he redirected into my Demon Prince. He needed like an 11 to do it, and he rolls a 12 or something. It was insane what he needed, and he made it no problem. So he slams into the Demon Prince, who has to take it. So it's all over but the crying there. And his unit of Skull Crushers easily make the charge, needing a 9 or 10 into the Marauder Horsemen, who stand and shoot, but fail to do anything because they're Marauder Horsemen, and I hate them. On a positive note, this unit of trolls right here was stupid and shambled up into the forest. Thanks to Final Transmutation, his BSB with the reroll was stupid and shambled up right behind the unit of trolls that used to be sitting in front of him. There's a better picture of my plans working out great. Yeah, so I figured worst comes worst, since Throg has the Eye of the Gods, I was just going to challenge with my Demon Prince and hope he flubbed, because I was screwed. Right there's a better picture of the Skull Crusher slamming into the Marauders. And I should be upset about it, but you know what? They're my Marauders, and I hate them with a passion of I don't know, a lot of passion. I can't think of anything clever, so deal with it. But I hate them a lot, so the fact that the Skull Crushers got to mulch them, I figured that's fine. I don't care. I'm glad they're dead. He has no magic or shooting, so we go into combat, and the Marauders die. They aren't able to do anything but die, because they're Marauders, and they suck. Granted, I know what you're going to say. The Skull Crushers are a far superior combat unit compared to Marauders, who are not supposed to see combat with them. I know, you're right, but I don't care, because I hate Marauders, and any reason for me to trash talk them is a good enough reason for me to trash talk them. So, I'm glad we got that cleared up. However, the good part about this is when he overruns, because he's frenzied and he doesn't have a choice, he rolls very low and only goes forward like 3 or 4 inches. So now my chariots can see him, my Chimera can see him. I've got a lot of things looking at the Skull Crusher. So the Marauder Horseman's sacrifice was not in vain, even it was against their will. So here's bottom of 2 after movement, and as you can see, I have done some. My Chimera and my Slaanesh Chariot and my Tzeentch Chariot all charge the Skull Crushers. The Slaanesh Chariot, Orcish Elegance, and the Chimera, Trifection, both make it into combat no problem. However, my Chariot is blocked by the impassable terrain. I could not close the door and get into and keep combat with the Skull Crusher, since they had already been hit on 2 sides. They couldn't close the door on me, so it was a failed charge. Meanwhile, the BSB ran into the one of the units of non-stupid trolls, because it was just time for him to get into this combat. Meanwhile, the Beast and the Warriors slam into the flank of the trolls with Throg in it, with the sole intention of just murdering him as fast as humanly possible. Not Throg, the unit of trolls. I needed to beat him in combat res and make him flee. And the dogs rallied. Yay! There's a better picture of this train wreck. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I forgot to get a picture of the combat between Throg and the Demon Prince. I didn't do anything to Throg, and he did 2 wounds onto Tremendous, because I called the challenge and he couldn't decline it. So yeah, that's what happened in that one. He won combat, I'm unbreakable, and that's what allowed this train wreck to happen. So stay tuned, you're about to see what happens. There's a better picture of the Orcish Elegance and Trifection getting into combat with the Skull Crushers. Meanwhile, my Tzeentch Chariot just kind of pulls up and gets a great seat for the fight. Here's Tartum slamming into some trolls to basically, I figured he could take out 6 trolls, and that's a lot of points. Well, it's a decent amount of points, so I'll take it. I was kind of hoping that if they broke here, I'd be able to slam into his Demon Prince and finish him off, because as everybody knows, my BSB kills Demon Princes very well. During the magic phase, Ashkis uses his ruby ring to get fireball off on the unit of trolls. And then, why not? My Demon Prince is about to die anyway. I fire off Final Transmutation on the trolls again, and I zap 2 of them, which was cool. We go into combat, and my Chimera takes a couple of wounds, and the Chariot takes a wound for its trouble, but we're able to kill and break them and run them down. They ended up running away from the Chimera. We caught them, no problem. I think my Chimera rolled boxcars to pursue. And right here is where we ended up, which I'm glad the Skull Crushers are dead. That's great and all, but having the flanks exposed to that unit of trolls and his Demon Prince is terrifying bad. So, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Over here in combat, of course, I actually am able to put 2 wounds through on Throg. I'm actually able to hurt him a little bit. But with his combo attacks of Strength 8, because Throg has a great weapon. I don't know if you knew that or not. I didn't know that. He is Strength 8. He is a face melter. I had no idea. Throg didn't even puke. He didn't even puke. He didn't even bother to puke. He just beat the tar out of Tremendous with his great weapon and killed him. And it's sad. It's okay to cry. I understand. We'll wait. So, with my Demon Prince killed by Throg, who, it is quite impressive, the age-old adage of my army of die kicked in, and we beat the tar out of some trolls, because, you know, with flaming attacks, they don't get anything. The Beast and the Warriors pound these guys into submission. They are not steadfast. They lose combat. They are not steadfast. They don't have a reroll, and they flee. And they flee quite impressively. They bounce through just about everything. A couple of dangerous terrain checks, you know, they get nothing, and they end up way far away. They actually get away because I roll low to pursue, which was disappointing. But having Throg that far out of range, right next to my Hellstrider with the Ruby, or Ashkis with the Ruby Ring of Ruin and his spells, I figured at the very least I should be able to whittle him down and maybe cause a panic check and get him off the table. Who knows? In my area, we play Stupidity. I know people say that if you have the Stupidity special rule, you're immune to psychology. We've looked it over. We've had a rather lengthy debate about the subject, and we've decided in my local area that you're only immune to psychology when you fail your Stupidity check. And I could spend the rest of this battle report going through why we reasoned that out and how we came to this conclusion and all this other garbage. And I'm not going to do that because I know you really don't care. You want to see how this battle ended up, and so do I. So, yeah, that's the way we play it. Now that you understand that, you don't have to like it. You just have to know that's how we play it. And, of course, if we ever played it, you know, at a different host store or tournament, we would play Stupidity by their rules without complaint. It's just the way we've decided to rule on it in our local area. So, with that being said, after these trolls got ran through by Throg, they failed their fear check and ran away from the closest enemy unit, which was the Hellstriders that was right behind them. And so they ran into the way of the Warriors and Beasts, so that was interesting. Right here during combat, my BSB is able to get 3 wounds through and kills off a troll. We win combat, but their stubborn 9 with the reroll, because the Demon Prince is right there, keeps them right where they're at. So we go to top of turn 3 after movement, and as you can see, there has been some. His trolls passed their Stupidity because the Demon Prince is right there and charged into the flank of the Chimera. I didn't want to flee with the Chimera because at Leadership 4 he was dead anyway. So it was either he dies or he kills some trolls off, hopefully, and dies. So he was dead either way, I guess. His Dragon Ogres tried to charge the dogs who fled, and they got away. His trolls that were fleeing continue to flee, and they never rally. They make it off the table eventually. The Dragon Ogres move forward with a failed charge, and it gives me a really good position with the Warriors to get in there and do something. Meanwhile, Throg, as you can see here, is missing. He did not rally. He rolled a 9 or a 10 for his leadership check and failed to rally, and they fled off the table. So, talk about praising, cha. Wow! Wow, so many points just ran off the table. I got lucky as hell here. So, yeah, better to be lucky than good, and I'm perfecting that. So, awesome. Awesome. Right there. Yep, like I said, the trolls are continuing to flee, and the dragon ogres fail their charge. There's Trifection. It's not looking good for the big guy. He did good this game, but yeah, having 6 trolls into your flank is never a good place to be in. And then, oh yeah, his BSB tried to charge the flank of my warriors. He needed like an 11 to do it, but he's needed 10s and 11s all game and been knocking them out of the park. And in this situation, he didn't make it. So, right here, the Chimera, he fails to get any of his wounds through because he's able to regen them all. The trolls beat him down. I think they just puke on him and kill him, and that sucks. So yeah, Trifection dies horribly, and that's sad. Right there, though, they overrun, and they just miss running into my chariot by an inch. They needed 1 more inch, so I got lucky there too, which I'll take. In combat here, my BSB only slips a wound through. So wound banner to nothing. I win by 2, but they're steadfast 9 with the reroll and don't go anywhere. So here's bottom of 3 after movement. And there, yep, my warriors charge into the flank of the dragon ogres. Ashkus and his Hellstriders fly around to go start dealing with the BSB and the Demon Prince because I'm kind of tired of them holding up the center and not doing anything. My Beast turns around to try to get his spell off on the BSB because I'm pretty confident that the trolls aren't going to rally. My dogs fail to rally and they continue fleeing, and if I don't get to it later, they flee off the table. They never rally. And yeah, my chariots just kind of pull away to get a better charge angle at the trolls because I'm hoping that they fail their leadership check and are stupid next round. There's a better picture of the warriors slamming into the flank of the dragon ogres. There's my dogs continuing to flee. It was nice knowing you pups. I understand why they fled, though. Dragon ogres and big unit of trolls. The dogs have had a rough day. I understand. During Magic, I go for broke. I'm still kind of upset that my Demon Prince is dead. Not like throwing a hissy fit, temper tantrum, or anything like that, but the gloves come off a little bit. And I do the big bubble choir bomb. And I hit the trolls that the BSB is in combat with. I hit the Demon Prince, and I hit the BSB. And as you can see, Ashkus, all that is man, is able to put the last 2 wounds through on the Demon Prince, put 2 wounds on the BSB, and do either 1 or 2 wounds to the trolls. So awesome, so great, so badass. However, the resulting misfire, I roll like a 4. I kill off 3 of my Hellstriders, which hurts, and I put a wound on Ashkus, of course. But I roll a 6, so he stays, and then I roll in the Eye of God's chart because he killed a monster when he killed the Demon Prince, and he gets +1 initiative. So the Slaanesh guy is Slaaneshier. Yay! During combat, I find out that his Dragon Ogres have a unit champion, so my unit champion and his unit champion have to fight. My unit champion fails to hurt the Dragon Ogre. The Dragon Ogre has no problem slipping a wound through and murdering my unit champion. I win this combat, but he stays. He actually stays. However, when he tries to turn to face, he fails that leadership check. And so he has to keep his flank to me, which is good, bad, I guess. Over here, they finally got puke onto the BSB, and it starts to dissolve his muscly parts. So that's not good. That's not good. But he is able to kill off another troll. They're still steadfast. They're still leadership. Well, they're steadfast 4, and with the reroll. However, they don't. They don't make their leadership 4 with the reroll, and the BSB runs them down, and he gets all goopy for it. But it is what it is, so he'll take it. So here's top of 4 after movement, and as you can see, not a whole lot has changed. He really doesn't have a whole lot left. With Cacophonic Choir on his BSB, he's got random movement, always strikes last. He tries to slam into my Hellstriders, but fails. And I think his unit of trolls is stupid. So that's really all he's got left. The other unit, I think, continues to flee. Yep, that's what happens. There's the unit of stupid trolls near the chariots. So that's awesome. Guess what's going to happen next round? There's his unit of trolls desperately trying to get off the table. And there's his BSB desperately trying to get into Ashkus, but failing because Ashkus ain't no fool. Right here in combat, I once again failed to do anything against the Dragon Ogre unit champion since he's the only one I can attack. I swing with, I think it was 18 attacks, and not one did anything to him. I'm stunned. Yeah, Dragon Ogres never really worked out for me, and now they're working out great for him. So I'm a little jealous. I'm a little jealous. Meanwhile, he's able to kill one of my warriors. I win combat, but once again he stays, and once again he fails to roll his leadership check to turn and face me. So very interesting combat, to say the least. A lot of unexpecteds. So we go to bottom of 4, and my beast, who's now bored with going after the Demon Prince because he thinks Ashicus has it, no problem, goes ahead and turns to face their fleeing trolls, figuring I might as well try to get something off. Meanwhile, Ashicus and his remaining Hellstriders get a different angle on the BSB so it can't charge me this turn. My BSB turns to face his BSB, and both my chariots charge and make their charge into the unit of trolls that were stupid last round. Vroom vroom! yeah, it's always good when both units, or when both chariots hit one unit. I always like 2d6 plus 2 impact hits. Toying with putting a third chariot in the list. I'm really becoming a chariot fan. During my magic phase, again, he's got no magic defense, so I can pretty much take my time with casting. And I put Cacophonic Choir through onto him, and it goes off irresistible. Cacophonic Choir is able to finish off the BSB, no problems, no regrets. And that is that for him. The resulting misfire was a 7, so I lose another Hellstrider for my troubles. Meanwhile, I finally break the curse of the Dragon Ogres over here. My warriors throw 18 attacks at him and are able to kill 2 this time. Or I'm sorry, able to kill 1. The unit champion died. I couldn't attack anything else, so the unit champion finally buys it. But with combat res and everything like that, they break, and they flee, and I catch them, and they die. So the warriors finally get their trophy. In combat over here, my chariots are able to do wonderfully, actually, against the trolls. A lot of wounds get through. They break, they flee, they end up fleeing from my Tzeentch chariot, and I run them down like wheat. I think my Slaanesh chariot took another wound for his trouble, and possibly my Tzeentch chariot, I'm not sure, but we were able to mutilate the trolls, and that's what's really important. So here's top of 5 after movement, and other than his 1 unit of trolls, there's nothing left on the table for him. And as you can see from this picture, the trolls have fled off the table. So they made it, and it's sad. So at the end of the game, it looks a little something like this. My warriors are on the table, and his aren't. So very interesting game. Very fun, very cool. This guy always brings me very clever lists that I've never seen before. And he always kills my Demon Prince. This opponent, that doesn't matter what he fields, vampire counts, ogres, goblins, warriors, he always kills my Demon Prince. Usually pretty quick, too. So I've really got to think of that next time I face off against him, because I hate it when my prince dies. But yeah, I think that the real problem with this one, for his list anyway, was no magic. I think if he had had magic, it would have been a much different game. Quick timeout. Banners, banners, banners. Get you some banners. You need these banners. You want these banners. You can't live without these banners. You need to send this guy an email. You need to check him out on Facebook. And you need to get yourself a banner. There's no reason not to. I don't understand why you procrastinated this long. Can you make banners these good? I didn't think so. So why not contact an individual that can make the banners these good, get yourself a banner, and be the jealous envy of everybody in your gaming group? That's right. That could be you. That could be you. So in the end, after all points were totaled up, I got 2708 out of him, and he got 1205 out of me. I ended up losing my Demon Prince, my Warhounds, my Marauders, and my Chimera. Not feeling too good about losing the Chimera, but I lost the Marauders, which I'm fine with. So, and you know, the Demon Prince losing him, that there's no consoling me over that ever. Prince Puke lost everything, which is cool, but yeah, like I said, I think a lot of it had to do with just the simple fact that he didn't have a magic phase. My magic phase was able to run rampant this game. I think I got Final Transmutation off twice, 2 or 3 times. I got Cacophonic Choir off a couple of times. I got Fireball. Basically, I had my choice during the magic phase, and that's really a bad idea to give me my choice in any phase, let alone the magic phase. So I think with a little revamping, this list will walk all over me. Needless to say, fighting that many trolls is not easy. But I got lucky in this one too. Throg not rallying and running off the table was a game ender. Let's face it. That huge unit of trolls not coming back and getting back into the fight, it was all over but the crying. It was amazing. Ashicus casting Choir without any kind of answer from my opponent, I guess, because he couldn't, was just devastating. Killing basically Magic killed off the Demon Prince, killed off his BSB, did bunch of damage to the trolls and stuff like that. It was Magic. This game is what really turned it. And I think this is a great battle report for just that reason. It shows you what happens when you take a very, very combat-oriented list, but no magic defense at all. I mean, at least take magic defense. And we talked to my opponent about this. We always chat after a game and stuff like that. And there was a bunch of people. We were all just kind of, going over the battle and everything like that. And he agrees. He agrees that magic would have definitely been a game changer in this one. So I wouldn't be surprised if I saw this list again, and he had a couple of casters in there, with like a scroll and like the hex scroll or something. But yeah, he's a very good opponent, and so I have no doubt that his next list will be quite devastating. Facing off against a Throg list, especially considering this is my first time, and seeing that many trolls across the table is intimidating like crazy. I was not as aggressive as I usually am, and I was just because all I could think was every single my wounds have a 50-50 chance of being stopped other than my warriors, and I don't have an answer for that. So it's cool. I think I did pretty well, but I think I got really lucky in a lot of situations. This easily could have turned and blown up in my face. But as always, it was a great game against a great opponent. I really enjoy playing against this guy, and I really can't wait for the next list he throws at me because it should be really cool. But anyway, that'll wrap it up for number 40. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope the Halloween theme didn't scare you too much. But yeah, I like Halloween, so deal with it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I enjoyed making it. I hope the new music, it's only for Halloween. I'll probably do a Christmas holiday themed one too because I like the holidays. I'm that kind of kid, And yeah, thanks.